Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dev Dive, a conversational podcast, the first episode of 2025. I am one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me, my compadre. He's Andy Esimakis. How you doing, bud? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're setting the bar really high today for the year, Steve.
Big bar.
This is
when we have our
when we have our inevitable game of the year chat in the next week or so. This was like in my most unhinged category, game of the year.
As it should be. As it should be. On this week's dive, we welcome Ryan Mao, developer of Toastercide, available right now on Steam. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I feel like we should dive right in, but for those that are new here, Dev Dive is a conversational podcast where we take a deep dive into the world of indie game development and uncover the stories behind the games. And this game, Toastercide, needs some diving behind. Let's just start that off that way. But for those who don't know, Ryan, what is Toastercide?
So very short description. Toastercide is a game where you play as a toaster that jumps into bathtubs. You use your grapple cord or your power cord to either grapple to things or use it as like a rope and you swing around. And it's pretty cool. It's also just a very silly game. If you like silly games, then it's the perfect game to play.
Yeah, diving into bathtubs, is that because the toaster is dirty and like needs to get clean? Or
I mean, I don't know. It's for whatever purpose you want, but there theoretically could be a person in the bathtub that theoretically could disappear because of the toaster jumping into the bathtub.
Got it.
So it's not just to get clean.
I see. Maybe to make breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Just very like a breakfast soup or something.
Oh, okay, soup. I was going for toast, but okay, yeah, all right. A little toast with jam, but you're going for the whole human soup. I like it.
Human soup? Where did that come from?
He said there were humans in the tub, and I assume we're making some kind of...
I said there could be people in the tub.
Could be.
There are also potentially other animals that are
potatoes, chicken, celery, carrots.
You could theoretically throw some like carrots in there, yeah.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I have to ask, how and why?
How and why? That's an excellent question. I've been asking myself that a lot. Honestly, I think it was just like 3 years ago. I like had this random idea. I was just watching a meme, like a classic, like, oh, I'm gonna jump into a bathtub with a toaster or whatever, or like take a bath with my toaster or something.
Disclaimer: don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Disclaimer:
don't do that. There's a lot of people like commenting under my Instagram asking for them to be in the bathtub, but it's not allowed. I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's where you like provide some sort of number to this person to call and get some help in some way.
Yes. Please seek some help. Yes. That is in a couple of the descriptions in some of my posts.
Well, I mean, going back to why, the people who would seek that out obviously would need some kind of help, but what does it say about the person making the fantasy of being the object to nosedive into said bathtub? What number can we give you, Ryan?
I don't really know. Any kind of mental health asylum that would be good.
Probably.
But no, honestly, it was just a silly idea that I had, and I was just thinking about it like from a gameplay perspective, like how could I make this a game? And I figured what I came up with was actually kind of interesting. So I decided to go with it, and I had a feeling that like this would be pretty marketable. Like it's just a funny idea. It's going to be shared, or it's easier to be shared. So yeah, it kind of did the marketing for me because I hate doing any type of marketing, but just the idea itself, the game itself kind of pushed it forward. So that was kind of the why behind it. It was just a silly idea. I thought it could potentially be popular. So I went with it, and it was fun to make. So
what is the lore behind this toaster? Because in my brain, it's like the radioactive spider bit the toaster. That's what I get when I'm watching the gameplay videos on a loop over here.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, the lore, so they're I never actually like fleshed anything out. I think the initial descriptions on the Steam page said something about like the International Counter Association like hiring toasters to unalive targets,
Hmm.
kind of like in Hitman.
Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, someone commented like International Counter Association is ICA, and that's the same organization in Hitman, and that was completely by accident. I didn't even realize that was a connection I made, and someone was like, "Hey, you should like watch, your abbreviation there," and I was like, "Oh, that was
Nah,
not on
it's
purpose."
parody. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, but it's fine. It was an unintentional parody, but yeah.
I love it. So gameplay wise, like okay, so you have your structure. Your structure is you have target, you go unalive the target in a very humorous way, but getting from point A to point B and making that interesting is truly the remarkable feat that you have to kind of figure out. So tell us a little bit about that and coming up with the idea and how it works.
Mm, I guess I think when I came up with the idea the very first time, I was just thinking about like what a toaster has and what it could theoretically use to move around. And the power cord is basically the only thing that can do anything other than just launching a toast
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, which eventually I used. But I was thinking, what can I do with a power cord? And I was like, power cord's not that different from grapple cord. That would be easy to program. Well, let me do that. So that was the first step, just doing a little grapple cord, and that itself was actually already really fun. The very first demo didn't even include the swinging, just the grappling around, moving anywhere that you wanted to. That was kind of a fun thing, and you could only grapple towards electrical objects, so it added a bit of like a puzzle element to it, a bit of like exploration, like where do I go next, that kind of thing. So that inherently already had like a decent amount of like fun factor and enjoyment there. And then adding like the swinging was just like it was kind of like the next logical step, um, because that enabled a lot of like emergent gameplay. Like you could do a lot with just those two mechanics, and it was really fun just kind of playing and testing around with it and getting that to work. The swinging cord did take a really long time to program. The grapple was really easy, but the swinging that was tough. That was
Yeah.
annoying.
I was gonna say, like even like big AAA studio Insomniac had issues with swinging mechanics and making it feel perfect and all
Yeah.
that. So you had a lot of moxie trying to do that. I give you
Yeah, I
credit.
mean, it's definitely not perfect, but it gets the job done once you start getting used to it.
Sure.
I think that's like I think that's my biggest gripe with the game is that it has a very steep learning curve. Like it's hard to like get used to the mechanics and finally start getting into it.
Okay.
But once you do, I think it is pretty enjoyable. But I kept trying to figure out how to make it easier, how to make it more accessible. But I think what I have now is decent enough. I wish it was better. And I'm still trying to fix that.
Can you put that on the box quote, like as a box quote? Decent enough. I'm still working at it.
Could be better.
Yeah,
Could be
well,
better.
that's
I,
just that's just how it is.
I
That's
think that's part of the charm, though. Like there's a slight level of
A little bit
jankiness
of
to it
jank.
that I kind of appreciate because it's you're a freaking toaster
Yeah, yeah.
that's
You're not supposed to be able to move
swinging
and swing
around.
around.
There's no grace in that, you know.
Yeah. Well, part of the thing was it's kind of like the spiritual successor to the I Am Bread games,
right.
or the I
Right.
Am Bread game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously the concept is relatively similar, but also um, the movement in Iron Bread is super janky. And that's part of it. I think Iron Bread is designed more as a rage game than Toastercide is. Toastercide wasn't really designed to be a rage game. It's still infuriating, but it wasn't designed to be that. That wasn't intentional. Um, but yeah, part of the jankiness, that is definitely a similarity I see between those two games.
What did these targets do to deserve a Toastercide? That like I'm just curious before you answer, Andy, can you bump your volume up a little bit on your microphone? Thank you. Yeah. So what did these people do? Like what gets you on the International Counter Association, or I think that's what it list?
If there's a model for you somewhere in my library that could be attached to you, then that kind of gets you on the list.
I see.
That's pretty much it. Honestly, I just kept thinking of random targets I could do that were funny. That are totally not real people, by the way. These are just completely, we have the Easter Bunny, Santa.
Any likeness to any real people is purely coincidental.
Purely coincidental. Yeah. Right. I think the only one that I targeted was Santa. Because I think I don't remember how I thought of this tagline, but Santa's real and he cheated on his wife. Like that. I don't know how I thought of that, but once I did, I was like, this kind of has to be a level. I don't know why, but like I couldn't get it out of my head, so that's why I made the Santa level, and I think that's actually one of my favorite levels because it's just visually very interesting to me. But we'll talk about that later, I guess.
See, my fan fiction is that these people are notorious for replacing appliances rather than fixing appliances. Where, oh, my refrigerator is on the fritz. Well, unplug it, put it to the curb, buy a new one. Like, don't even bother getting the repairman over there to fix it. And it's just like, enough is enough. All right, send the toaster. This guy's got to go. This guy's got to go.
Yeah, you know what? Environmentally conscious toaster. That's definitely an idea.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a whole subgenre of like killer appliances. We've had
a
Roomba game.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now there's a toaster.
I did not know there was a Roomba game. I'll have to check that out.
You gotta check. Justice Sucks.
Justice sucks.
Really? Okay, hold on. Let me just...
Andy, keep bumping yourself up, bud. You're too low for me.
I'm so low.
Yeah, keep bumping yourself up.
Yeah, how's that better?
No.
Is it worse?
It's just you're not loud.
How's that?
There you go. I like that.
There it is.
I like that.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, Justice sucks. Let's see what other appliance.
No, like that. This could be the start of it. We have a Roomba and a toaster. Let's get some more, like a blender.
I think blender's too obvious.
Soda stream carbonation. That's be kind of fun,
Over carbonate somebody's insides.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate this so far. But you know, it's not an appliance, but it's a vehicle. But what about those like shitty hoverboards where like you could just like roll under people's feet and get them and just run them into like oncoming traffic or like a river or something, just watch their bodies fly over. I'm down for that.
Oh my god.
Toastercide, man. I mean, this kind of stuff is right up our alley. So you're creating this. You've created this all alone, correct?
Pretty much. I had a couple friends help me with the music.
Okay.
And I had someone helping me with some of the social media posts, but basically most of the development was done by me.
I'm always jealous that somebody could do something like that all by themselves. Like, what kind of experience did you have going into it?
Nothing. I started
even worse about myself. Thanks, Ryan.
No. Whatchamacallit? I basically started learning how to make games maybe 2 years ago. I started getting it I downloaded Unity the first time 3 years ago, and I barely did anything with it. And then 2 years ago, I finally tried a first project. Basically, I just made a Metroidvania because Hollow Knight was and is my favorite game. So I just tried to recreate that a little bit just to try to learn how to use Unity, which is the engine I use. Other than that, I started off I knew a little bit of computer science because I took a couple classes in high school, and then in college I also do a little bit of coding. It's pretty light though. I don't think it helped me, but other than that, no, I kind of just went into it and just learned through YouTube videos and a lot of chat GPT.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, if you treat chat GPT as like a Google, but
Yeah.
like that could speak to you a little bit more directly about what you want, like what you're asking, it could be very helpful for stuff
Pretty
like
good. I
that.
mean, it's just like Stack Overflow, except
Right.
just a conversation. Honestly, it's not gonna the code it gives me isn't that good, but
Yeah. But you know, if you're like, I'm having difficulty with A and B,
yeah,
give me
exactly.
some suggestions to like kind of, you know, work my way through this kind of thing. And I can see that being, especially new developers out there. Like if you're watching the show and you're getting into game development, there are tools out there, you know, YouTube tutorials, as you said. Were there any specific YouTube channels that you
I
really
think
latched onto?
I think the classic one is Brackeys. That's the
Oh,
classic.
I know
I know
Brackeys.
Brackeys. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's a
I've
good
watched
Any
one
one.
yet.
any any Unity indie dev knows who Brackeys is.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's great. I think he's
He-
coming back actually. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Um,
he's doing Godot stuff now. I'm
yeah,
into it.
yeah, that's what I heard
Yeah,
after the whole
yeah.
Unity
Unity
fiasco.
fiasco. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
gotta love that. But other than that, I think it was just looking up random. Like if I needed to make a settings menu, I'd be like, how do I make a settings menu in Unity? And just looked on
Are
YouTube
there
and
like, so Andy, I think you kind of peruse the indie developer Reddit very often.
Always.
Yeah, and there's always like, hey, take a look at my demo. Is it any good? Like, is this shit? But I
Yeah.
imagine there's also a Reddit community for, you know, problem solving too. I would imagine, right?
um I'm not sure. I didn't really use Reddit that much.
Okay.
I feel like if you're talking about coding, Stack Overflow is generally where you're looking at, or just like the Unity like forum, specifically for
Yeah.
Unity, I guess. Because like if it's just because the different engines are similar, but like the problems are going to be different.
Mm.
So it's just better to go a little more specific, I guess. I don't think there's anything like that. I think other than like general stuff like marketing and um like talking to like YouTubers and influencers, that kind of thing, that's something that
Sure.
all developers, regardless of engine, would use. I think that's something that people talk about in the indie game subreddit.
What
But
about navigating Steam? Like getting all that done? Was that a difficulty for you?
no, actually, Steam is I thought it was relatively straightforward. I mean, like the UI isn't very pretty, but like it doesn't matter. Like you could figure it out really quickly. I think the only thing that I had to look up was how to upload my game onto Steam. And that's just a tool that Steam
Mhm.
provides to you, and I just didn't know it existed. So I just had to look that up. But other than that, it's relatively simple to figure out. I don't think Steam was like, yeah, they make it easy for you.
I've never heard someone describe making a game sound so easy and minimalist. And yeah, you can just do it. Yeah, just get Chat
No, it's
GPT.
definitely
Look at some threads. Watch some YouTube videos.
You barely need a computer.
Get a Steam tool.
no, that's
Take a course in high school, maybe.
that's
That
not
will be
no. It
useless.
was I'm definitely making it easier than it actually was. It's just I don't think it's as like prohibitive as I think a lot of people think it is. But it is a ton of time. It's so much time. Like, yes, all of these things are easy, but you gotta put some time into it. And there's always so many small little things that add up that you don't even anticipate. Um, that cost so much time, and it's tough to plan these things. But no, I wouldn't say it was an easy experience at all. I think technically it was relatively easy, but in terms of like workload and staying on a schedule and making sure that like you hit your targets, you actually get work done every day or every week, like staying consistent, that that
Mm.
was that was really tough. And also balancing everything, like doing this alone. Like, yes, I could create the game on my own, but could I market it? Could I do the music? Could I make the Steam page? Could I make videos? Could I reach out to influencers? Can I do all of those things at the same time effectively? Absolutely not. I no, like, I mean, like I pushed you guys off a lot by like I think you first reached out to me like a year ago, but then you reached out
Yes.
like back like 2 months ago, and I kept pushing it back because I kept getting busy. I'm so sorry about that.
It
That's your
happens.
priorities. It's like, listen, like you made a decision to, I'm making this game semi full time. This is my main focus. I got to get this done.
Mhm.
I guess that's a good segue to like, at what point did this become like a huge chunk of your life? Like, I'm going to put in the hours and the time to make this a reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always well, ever since I made that like first project, I've always wanted to like create something that, more than just like my friends and family would see. And then I just happened to have a relatively free semester, my last semester of college. Um, like I took like one or two classes and I was commuting from home. So I had a decent amount of time and I figured this would be like the perfect opportunity to, get something done. I already had a job lined up, so I didn't worry about that just yet. So like I had like 3, 4 months of time that I could like pretty much fully dedicate towards working on a game. And that's how Toastercide kind of happened. Originally, Toastercide was just meant to be a really small, like, this is my first game I've ever done in 3D Unity. Before I was just working with 2D. So initially this project was just learning how to make a 3D game, and it was meant to be like a 1 or 2 month project. And I figured, oh, let me post something on social media, because like everybody says like game devs are shit at, sorry.
No, you could curse. It's
Okay, okay.
YouTube doesn't like when we talk about muck duck and
Things the toaster
unaliving.
does.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know
But
why.
yeah,
Mung duck.
anyways, like everyone on like indie Reddit, right? Indie dev or whatever it is. There's like two of them. There's indie dev and indie game,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
There was like, oh, I tried marketing this game and like no one showed up or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll try marketing a little bit. I wasn't expecting it to do anything. Like I knew the idea could like had some potential, but I wasn't expecting to blow up in the way that it did.
Right.
And when it did blow up, I was like, oh God, this one to
Uh-oh.
2 month project suddenly has like thousands of people watching it. I kind of have to make it kind of good, right? Like it kind of needs to be a solid game. Um, so that's how the 1 to 2 month project became like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. It wasn't all full time. I think probably for only like 2, 3 months that was full time, and after that it was just maybe like a couple hours a day, maybe like maximum like 10 hours a week, I want to say.
Mhm.
Because after that, like I got my full time job 9 to 5, so it became harder to work on the game after that,
Mm.
but managed to pull through.
After Toastercide and you have it out in the world and you could kind of take a step back a little bit, you have your 9 to 5. Do you see game development in this way, in this solo development way, or maybe even small development way, as a career path for yourself?
Definitely would be nice. But it's a really tough, it's really tough to get that to happen. I mean, as a first launch, I'm really happy with how it turned out, but I could not live on the money that I
Mm.
did make from this launch. I think compared to a lot of other indie devs, I did pretty well, especially for a first game.
Sure.
So I'm really happy with that, but it's definitely not enough for me to be like, yes, I'm gonna quit my job right now and do this full time, as much as I wish I could. Um, but yeah, I do want it to potentially do that in the future if a game that I make actually makes enough money for me to responsibly say I'm going to quit my job.
That's that's kind of
But
like the
yeah.
chicken and the egg, right? Like you need a game to do really well enough where you're comfortable financially to
Hmm.
take the risk for it to be your career,
Yeah.
but also you kind of need to take the risk and make it your career to make the thing that is probably going to put you there.
Hmm.
Do you think that Toastercide has enough behind it where whatever you do decide to make next will be a natural step up? Like I know there are some developers that their game has come out and they're not quite sure if them being the lead on the next project is going to be better for them. Like it's not always an incremental step up as far as success goes. Do you feel whatever metrics you had given yourself for Toastercide, or whatever you're seeing on, you know, the forums or social media or whatever surrounding Toastercide or the Steam numbers or whatever it is, do you see that as a positive for your whatever your next project is? Or do you think it's going to be more like just hitting the reset button and starting over?
I don't think it'll be like hitting a reset button. I think I think I learned a lot from this experience. Learned a lot what to do, what not to do. And I think just based on that experience wise, I think it will be an improvement. I think also based on the fact that I do have somewhat of a following now, and I have, you know, I have an Instagram with like it's not that many it's a decent amount, but comparatively, like it's like 4,000 followers. That's at least something to base it
Sure.
off of. I started off with 0, so that's already a step up from there. And the fact that I do have a release that did decently well enough, um, that also potentially enables things like publishers, because now I do have some kind of credential or something to show for. So I think it does open up some doors for me. Not necessarily that it was like, oh my God, this is great. Now the next game is 100% going to be a hit. It's going to be very successful or more successful, but I think it's definitely a higher chance.
Right.
Yeah, but I know that a lot of developers also just only make just their one game. So they never get to see whether or not that second game is potentially successful or not. But I had a lot of fun making Toastercide, and I would make it. I would make more games either way, whether or not it was commercially viable or not.
Right.
So I'm still gonna do it because I had a lot of fun doing it.
What does your next game look like when your first one is about a toaster going into bathtubs?
Sorry. Oh, what does the next one look like?
How do you how do you
How do
one up
I?
this?
So that's the thing is like I don't really know. I don't think I want. So the games I have in mind right now are a little more like serious and not just like a meme. But I do have some potentially maybe ideas in the works if I really want to. But right now I'm just kind of taking a break.
Do you
um,
do you think that like the fact that it is kind of a meme game, do you think that's going to work against you for whatever, like if you do want to do something a little bit more serious in the future? Do you
uh,
feel like obligated to continue the meme verse?
No, I don't really feel obligated to continue the me because like it's not like the game itself is that me like the gameplay itself isn't that memey. It's like not
Right.
it's not a complete dog shit game. That's just there for the meme. I think there are real mechanics and real like thought put behind the game design. So I don't think necessarily that like I need to keep making meme games. Um,
But you don't
yeah,
think that that's what your audience expects of you after Toastercide?
I mean, I think there definitely is a subsect. Yeah, there probably is a subsection that like, only wants meme games. Um, but also looking at the numbers, I did get less sales than I expected. So it's not even I'm not even sure that the audience actually wants a meme game, right? Maybe they just wishlisted it because they thought it was funny, they'd keep it on the list or whatever. But if you look at like Steam statistics or whatever, it's clear that like longer form, more serious games that have a lot of deep gameplay, that's actually what people want.
Right.
So I potentially might be building and making a game in that direction at some point. Um, but honestly, I really don't feel bound to like I have to my next game needs to be extremely memey. The only reason I made Toastercide the way it is because I thought it would be popular. I thought it would be shareable, because it is kind of a meme, and that helped do the marketing for me. And I didn't really know how to do marketing or anything like that. I wasn't
Yeah.
familiar at all.
Right.
So hopefully now with a little more experience behind my back, I'll be able to make like a more serious game with a lot more pull behind it, a lot more like clever design and deep gameplay behind it. That's kind of what I really want to do, not just make games about random things jumping into other random things.
Yeah, I'm looking at your Metroidvania game on your Steam page, and I think you have a good foundation. It looks like it's got some solid gameplay. It's got a really striking visual look to it.
Yeah.
That could be a potential to pick this up again and just see where it takes
Yeah.
you because you have the experience now. No, seriously, it looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is basically just squares and triangles and circles, but but yeah, I did have a lot of fun making that one too. And it ended up being a pretty fun game. I know like one of my friends just kept replaying and replaying and replaying it. So at least someone found it was fun. But yeah, I think I am a little like done with that project now though. Because I did also work on that for a decent bit. Maybe like a year or something. And I kind of got tired of it. But that was more part-time. It was just me learning stuff on the side. But I did have a lot of fun making that project. So
One would say that you were the one learning new abilities.
yes,
not the
I was
pickle guy.
not the little pick. My friends called it the tic tac. A little glowing tic tac.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
man.
it. So Toastercide 2, the dark setting is not in the works. I get it.
Probably not. Probably not. I don't think so. I know there are definitely some studios out there that do lean in more towards like the meme games, like the people that made I Am Bread, Bossa Studios. They make games that are very similar. They also made like Surgeon Simulator, if you remember that game, or like they made a game called I Am Fish, and they made an I Am Fish 2, which I didn't realize you could make another game.
Sure, you can make another of anything.
Steve,
Yeah.
he'll just remaster it one day.
Toastercide remastered. Got it.
Yeah, we'll get like the AK, like with ray tracing, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
You can do a VR version, but you're not the toaster in VR. You're just the person in the back.
You're just the person
waiting in the tub.
Breaks through the glass and you're just enjoying a glass of wine, reading your Kindle. In VR,
it's like Toastercide. It's like the B-sides of Toastercide. You come home, you get your bath salts, set it up, put your mixtape on. Oh my god, I love it.
You hear a knock at the door. Who could that be? You look, there's nothing there, but this little toaster runs behind you.
Yeah.
You see it in the mirror, like, and you turn around. It's like a Child's Play movie, but a toaster.
Then you trip over a cord and you fall into the bathtub.
Huh? Where did that come from? There's just crumbs on the floor, and you're like, huh? What is this?
Crumbs.
All right, Andy.
What was that from? Hold on. That was from Married with Children. Toaster leavings? Was that what he called them? Like the crumbs you shake out of the toaster?
Oh, the toaster leavings.
Toaster leavings.
That's a twice a year clean for me.
Oh my god. Yeah, toaster leavings.
All right, it is time now to slide into something comfortable, and that comfortable thing is making Ryan uncomfortable with our rapid fire questions. This is where we get to know you, Ryan. Okay, we need to know what's going on up here. Okay, so we're gonna ask you questions, and you are gonna answer them. Rapido fire, as the kids say. All the kids say that. I don't know if you know that, but all of them say that. So I'm gonna start with a classic, Andy. A simple classic here. Is cereal a soup?
Yes.
Definitely
a soup.
That was very fast. See, I kind of want to ask him like if Ryan was the toaster whose bathtub is he jumping into?
Okay.
That's a very loaded question.
That's very loaded. That is a demonetizing question if I've ever heard
Yeah,
one.
so I'm not going to ask him that.
We're not going to ask who you want to kill. Krill.
Though I did ask that to another indie dev we had on the show because this game inspired that question. Just that's a little fun fact. What's a good one? Oh, I love this question. Say your family gets a phone call at like
Oh.
2 a.m.
Mhm.
that you've been arrested and you're sitting in the jail waiting for someone to post bail for you. Why were you arrested? What crime did you commit?
What crime?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, tax evasion.
Wow, hear that? FBI, CIA,
We got him.
IRS. There it is, folks.
Now, the game didn't sell that well. I'm sure it didn't, Ryan.
Sure. What is the best scented candle?
The best scented candle?
Mhm.
I just like vanilla candles. I don't know.
Vanilla
They just
candle? It's
yeah,
okay,
make
that's
me
solid.
make it feel like I just baked some cookies, you know.
I like it.
If any song could play when you entered a room, what song would that be?
What song? Oh God. I'm blanking here. I don't. I think it'd be kind of like really annoying if just Happy Birthday played every single time I walked into a room.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. That would be not
And
good.
confusing.
Yeah.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. This is basic, but Margot Robbie.
Okay, yeah, no,
Okay,
that's
we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
It's not like it's a weird one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Give us a gaming hot take.
Gaming hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take with this audience, but indie games are better. Like,
It's fair.
Well, yeah,
Very
we'll
fair.
allow that.
That is very fair.
but I feel like your audience already believes that, no? Like,
You'd be surprised.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Which color of the color spectrum, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, don't forget there's purple too, rainbow colors for me and you, and everything in between. Which color has the worst personality?
Orange.
Ooh, expound, please. Explain on that.
It's just I think it's an annoying color. You know, like there's nothing orange that like had like it's not that useful of a color, I guess.
Okay.
And also you see it a lot in like traffic cones, and those annoy me because like there's always like construction happening. I'm from New Jersey. There's always construction happening in New Jersey. Those just annoy me.
Yeah.
But like all the other colors are kind of nice. They have more uses other than just like, look at me, I'm
Warning.
annoying, avoid me, you know, like.
I got you. I
No, I
understand.
like-
Also, note to Matt, maybe change our logo from orange to something.
Oh, is it orange?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Dev Dive one is a little orange. It's got a little bit of orange in there.
I'm so sorry.
Little
Never
bit.
mind. It's
Also,
the best color. Orange is
my-
my favorite color, actually.
Worst personality. But what is the personality of orange? Like, what do they like when they enter a room? What do they?
I think he
doing?
just screams, "Look at me!" You know,
Yeah.
I'm so cool. Like, you
Like
know, pay
center of
attention to me.
attention
Like,
guy?
yeah,
Yeah,
I want to be
yeah.
the center of attention. Like,
Like a
I'm
frat
needy.
bro?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He's the kind of guy that we walks through and we hear the song "Happy Birthday." That's
Yeah,
the kind of-
exactly.
that's the kind of- it's always about that guy.
Exactly. He just wants all the attention.
Would you rather be a cult leader or a cult member?
Leader. Why would you want to be a follower?
You can have fun as a follower, you know. You don't gotta do much thinking.
guess.
Not all
like-
cults end in death, too. Like
They don't.
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't.
no, not all of them. Only the
Could be
successful.
could be a sexy
Um,
cult, you know.
yeah.
True, yeah. But no, being the leader be so much like you get to tell everyone what to do, and like you get all the benefit and like none of the downside.
It's a
like,
lot of work.
I guess
Yeah.
it is, but like
Yeah.
you're leading a cult, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna get some benefit out of it.
Yeah. Probably like fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean? Just fruits and vegetables.
Sure, that's
Lots of free fruits and vegetables.
tame cult.
Hey Ryan, you ever eat that glue from school?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elmer's my
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah.
Eat that glue from school.
Like Andy, so he said Elmer's. So like I'm talking about the one. Remember the one that came in that tub that had like the little dippy thing in it?
Yeah, that was like just marked paste.
Yeah, it
or
was
something.
just like paste or glue. It was the same one
Yeah.
that Miss Slippy in in what do you call it? Billy Madison was putting on our eyelashes and eating. Like, we've all tried that glue, right? We've all tried it at some point, right?
I don't know if I know what glue you're talking about, but I would.
Don't talk. Don't say words. All right,
I
Andy.
think you've had a lot of glue in your life, Steve.
No, just a little bit. I just tried it. You know what I mean? It smelled good. You just gotta try it.
It does. Would recommend.
Do not recommend. Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. No,
warning.
Please do
Actually,
not
it is non-toxic.
glue.
It is
Thank
non-toxic. Yeah.
Hmm.
They put it in
it's not
preschools
good
and
for you.
kindergartens for a reason. You know what I mean? How bad could it be? It's just, cow hooves. Like, how, you know what I mean?
Isn't it horses?
I think
Yeah.
I thought it was
Or-
Yeah,
horses.
horse bone. I'm sorry. Cow hooves is gelatin.
Yeah. There you go. There it
Anyway.
I'm doing a more serious question.
Okay.
That may not be as rapid fire, but he may dwell on this for a bit.
Okay.
If there was a game that you could work on, make a new installment or a sequel, what game would that be? You're given a blank check, Ryan. Make us the next so-and-so. What are you doing? What do you want to make?
Okay, this is kind of an easier one. I really want to know what Team Cherry is doing with Silksong right now.
So you make it yourself?
I really want to know what they're doing. I just want it to come out.
Do you think we'll see that game in our lifetime?
I hope it does. I told myself that if Silksong came out the week before Toastercide launched, I would postpone Toastercide. Like,
yeah, obviously. All right, we got a couple more here. And then Andy, you'll take us home. I'll do one more, and then Andy, you could take us home with the final question.
Got it.
Humans can now crossbreed with any animal, meaning like your gene, not procreate. I mean, like they could infuse you with an animal's like DNA. Which animal do you choose to become part of?
Oh, wait. Okay. I thought you were going to ask me what animal would I have sexual relations with.
No, not
I got very
procreation.
scared for a second.
Not
there.
procreation. More like
the way you started that question.
I understand.
That's
That's why I clarified. More like animorphs. You know what I mean? Like you could have
Yeah,
You
okay.
become the animal?
That's definitely
less becoming
half
the animal,
animal.
more like you have the animal's like ability. You know what I mean? Like their cool ability. Which animal would you like to?
I think I'd want to have some kind of camouflage, like
Mm.
chameleon or like octopus or something. That'd be pretty cool. I would also like to fly. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be a bird. I think I'd be a bird.
Like some sort of avian variety.
Yeah, like something that doesn't get like
Muck duct.
Yes, muck duct. Maybe like an eagle or like a hawk or something. You know?
You don't want to be one of those that has like the big gullet, like, and you have to eat fish whole and stuff. You don't want that.
Yeah. I don't want to be
just good, really good eyesight, and like, can glide.
Yeah, I can just like fly around, chill, and then dive on whatever looks delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a hot dog stand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm still a human here, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to eat raw fish from the ocean.
Right.
Are bones also hollow if he's like a bird?
Oh yeah,
it depends.
That would kind of suck.
You don't have to take every part of the bird. You could just be like, I would like the really good eyesight.
If I don't have hollow bones,
but I have webbed feet.
I just have wings that don't work if I'm not light enough, right?
Well, I mean, I assume it would be proportionate.
I guess.
That
would be really annoying to like walk around with, though, right?
Probably have to hit the
chameleon.
Yeah, stick to the octopus.
Stick to those.
Good idea. Good idea. All right, Andy, take us home for.
It's funny. He in a roundabout way answered one of our other questions. That's power of flight or invisibility.
True.
But he chose both.
Yeah, very interesting.
Oh yeah. Those are both the best ones.
Yeah.
Or mind reading. That's probably another superpower that. But
that would be, man, that's a curse to me. That is not
really
a power. Like, just, I don't need to know like what people really think of me. Like, just give me the bullshit version.
Yeah, but you care what people think about you. That's why. Why
it's not that I care as much as I know I'm gonna dwell on it. Like,
but then you could like
that's that because you care.
But you could like manipulate them into liking you because you know what they're thinking now.
Yeah.
Like,
You
now it's
can
perfect.
fix the
You can
flaws
control
they
it.
see in you.
Right. I can become the perfect person
Yeah.
by knowing what everyone thinks is so shitty of me.
God, that's what your hell would look like. That's your Silent Hill, Steven.
Yeah.
You have like Professor X's powers.
It's like you get a list of here's all the things that suck about you, and like I'm going, and it's like a video game with like question marks, right? And you're just checking off boxes, and then when I get to the bottom of the list, I close my eyes and open it, and there's 40 more of them. That's my hell.
Isn't that what marriage is? And relationships? They tell you what's wrong with you.
No comment. No comment.
All right,
Speaking of what's
let's
wrong with
end.
us, Andy, it's time for
Let's
the
end.
final question,
Ooh,
the
I
most
hate this
important question of all.
I'd rather have a list of my flaws than ask this fucking question.
I could ask it.
All
if
right,
you want.
Ryan. No.
Oh, God.
It's
What am
fine,
I?
it's
What am I
fine.
getting here?
No, it's fine. I detest it because
It's the
you're
most
great.
difficult question of all.
It's been a really fun show. Great conversation. It's a really easy question, but could be a very difficult question with how you
A
think
lot of
about
build up to this easy question.
it. There's always got to be a build up. That's part of the whole ritual with the
Okay.
final question of the show. And the question is Andy or Steve?
You?
See?
So-
He hates it.
How dare
simple.
you?
It's binary.
You see
It's
how
one or the
horrible-
other. It's
horrible?
very easy.
I can't. No. You can't do that.
It's a 50-50 question.
That's not how this works.
There's
What are you?
there you can
No,
I mean it could
I'm
be in
sorry,
any context that you want.
Oh, he refuses to
Um,
answer.
No, I don't think I should answer that question if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just.
He likes us both equally or despises us
So,
both equally.
well,
It's
that's
one or the other.
okay. So I need to know: is it none of us? Both of us?
It's both. It's both.
Okay.
Both.
It's both.
All right.
But I can't choose between the two of you. That's
Oh my
just
God.
not fair.
love
Like,
it.
do you ask this every time?
Every
Every
guest.
fucking time, dude.
Oh
Every
my
guest.
God.
Now, here's the thing. It's wrong. Both is definitely wrong. You don't want both of us.
Okay.
Okay, we're just too much.
What
We're
are we
too much.
dwelling on this?
I'm just saying. Just saying. You've
Wait,
made
so-
your bed, sir. You've made your bed. Now you get both of us for the rest of your life. See what you do.
Oh, okay. You guys gonna like show up and follow me around?
Yeah, anytime.
Why not?
You
Yeah.
do.
Oh,
You
I'll
live
take
right
that.
across the river, so
Oh,
You're,
really?
yeah, you're right there. You've already doxed yourself. You're all
That's
New Jersey
true.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. We got you now.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dev Dive, a conversational podcast. We were talking to Ryan Mao, solo developer of Toastercide, which is out now. Go check it out. Go check it out, everybody. Go do the thing. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at Indie Rift. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at Pants Guy. Ryan, where could everybody find you? Toastercide, the whole 9 yards.
You can find Toastercide on the Steam page. I also have an Instagram. I think it's at Chairman Games. And through there you can find a link tree with all the different links I have, but mostly just the Steam page or the Instagram would be good. Just look up Chairman Games or Toastercide. Either will work on Google.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/IndieRift, just like our Patreon producer, Colton, the Journeyman Nestler. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us in ringing in the new year with some awesome, deep dev dive here. This was a great conversation, Ryan. I learned quite a bit about development and how to get started and all that fun stuff. So good luck with Toastercide and whatever you do plan on doing next. And keep us in mind for when you want to talk about it.
This was really fun.
Awesome.
Actually,
I'm gonna harass you for life on Instagram, buddy. That's the way it is now.
He's an Instagram guy. I try and avoid Instagram. It's too much. It's too many pictures. Too many pictures. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Andy. And as always, please be excellent to each other. Oh, I forgot. You guys can't see me, can you? Let's see if it works. I don't think it will. Did it? It worked. I have 2 cameras at once again. Yeah. All right, we did it.
That was like a Kermit. That was like a Kermit the Frog.
Yes,
That was
that's
the
what
energy
that's
I
what it,
got.
that's what it was for.
That's the energy I got when you did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Yeah.